Is it something urgent? I'm extremely busy, so if it isn't... Yes, everyone is talking about it. If Aelinar wanted to do everything quickly and quietly, she clearly miscalculated. The prison for laity is the poor god of Aelion, who surrendered to the council. You think I'm a monster? Oh, that's a sensible view. You don't hear that often. Yes, Laertes is dangerous, so I'm building a prison that can hold a god. The task is extraordinary, and that's why I'm extremely busy right now. That was a hint in case you missed it. I've got no shortage of helpers. Aelinar made sure of it. But you know, there is something. Tiberius mentioned that he could use an immortal's help, but I was too busy and completely forgot. If you want to help, go to the Thandi drilling station. Tiberius hasn't radioed to whine how awful I am for a few hours now. That's not a good sign.
Gave himself up.
To be imprisoned forever.
It's a prototype. We are going to see if there are any side effects.
These radios always breaking. It's so...
Hello? I know you can hear me. If those creatures haven't killed you yet, I promise I will kill you myself. Am I expecting too much from my research team when I ask them to check for aggressive vocal bottom? Fine. Just find somewhere to hide. Flavius will surely send help, if he remembers.
Flavius send help? You're just in time. The local fauna's yet to take a bite out of me. Not for lack of trying, though. How's my brilliant group? Oh, thank you. Truly, I mean it. I'm sorry, I'm a little frustrated. Let's start from the beginning. I'm Tiberius, head of the research group and Flavius's personal assistant. I'm usually a nice guy, honest. This whole situation just pisses me off. What's the point? Talking doesn't solve anything. We need to launch the damn drill. It's close by. The thing is so huge you can see it from here. To provide Flavius's new project with the best energy crystals, this place has to run like clockwork. There are many dangerous creatures near the drill, so I'm not going with you. You don't need to worry, though. I will continue to provide information support. To bring the drill to full operating capacity, we need to start 3 autonomous stations in turn. But remember, the vibration will immediately attract the Vipers. Or something worse. Great. We're done here. Let's keep moving. Careful! The Viper is a dangerous enemy. I think it should be safe after this one. Well, thanks. Again, sorry for the cold welcome. Your help was most timely. Did Flavius send you? Amazing. I could never have expected such kindness from a god who does not even remember which of his assistants are immortal and which can easily die. However, I understand. It's very important for Flavius that the prison for the Gravedigger is finished as soon as possible. Don't believe everything that you hear. The Gravedigger is Laertes. It's an undeniable fact, but Laertes is not a traitor. He'd never become a traitor. You hear me? Never. Something happened to him. But who cares, right? We'll just build a prison for him and forget all about it. Sorry, no time to chat. My group ran into a little bit of trouble on Tau. You can come with me on our graviglider, or I can contact you later once I learn more. The situation on the base is worse than I thought. Fortunately, my whole group has managed to evacuate. Aside from us and the crazed Wardens of Elements, there is no one else here. Do I look like a man who knows anything? No. But I'm the lucky guy who has to figure everything out. I'm glad you're here. It gives me hope that I won't die. Analysis of the data shows some kind of force field that affects all test subjects at the station. They are unusually aggressive, and seem to be getting stronger as well. Hopefully with your help I'll figure this out. Flavius wants me to get the data from the terminals at the complex. He's very interested in the last one, near the cage of the aspect of death. You probably don't know that. Aspect of Death is the biggest warden of death on Aelian. Flavius caught it many years ago and has been keeping it there ever since, studying it like a fly under a microscope. Don't you get it? Oh, you probably don't know anything about the Wardens of Elements. We don't have time for a lecture, so I'll be brief. The Wardens of Elements appeared on Aelion thousands of years ago, and each of them used to be an immortal in ancient times, like you or Flavius, or like Laertes. Flavius is wondering how to keep Laertes in a cage the way the Wardens of Elements are kept. He needs the data from this place. All right, enough talking. The work won't do itself. Terminal is right here. What you'll have to seem very agitated. Keep them away from me. I'm almost done with the Judging by the data, the last experiment at Tau was meant to show how the smaller wardens influence the larger ones. It's done. Let's keep moving. We'll need my clearance from here. The most dangerous wardens are kept in this part of the complex. more placid. Get ready to intercept him. The equipment is overloaded. He's about to bring... Doesn't it terrify you when you look at a Warden of Elements and realize that another immortal is standing before you? You can scare young immortals with tales like that. If you misbehave, you'll become a mindless blob of energy and will hang around Flavius's laboratory until the end of time. Yes, exactly. It's a terrible fate. A hero of Aelion deserves better than that. I don't think this is a good time to chat, but I'll say this. Laertes is a real hero to me. And not even because he saved my mother once. I spent all my childhood in Landber, and believe me, this place was completely different back then. Laertes was a true guardian of the land. You didn't even have to call him. He always showed up where he was needed. How often do mortals meet gods? That's right, and I saw Laertes every day. He wasn't solving planetary scale problems in the council, he was down here, with us. Means a lot to me. All my life I've wanted to be like him, but we got distracted. The Herald of Death wasn't what caused the overload. Looks like Flavius will be able to confirm his theory. The Wardens of Elements do influence each other, and this powerful field is radiating from somewhere in the heart of the station. And we always keep this part of the complex closed. It's dangerous around here, but not for you. Can you feel the special energy of this place? We call it the Cradle. It's where the Wardens are born. I'm not sure. Not a meaningless blob of energy. He'll be aware of every second of his eternity in prison. And then, Laertes will lose his immortality and die like an ordinary human. I can't believe they decided to build a prison for immortals, but didn't even try to help Laertes fight the curse. Won't last long. Do something! portable shield won't last long! Do something! Thank you. I must have been completely out of it if I forgot to turn off the altars before we got here. They attract the wardens.
In other parts of the complex, but the process got out of control. The aspect of death is unstable. It's bursting with power. You have to fight it. Quick, disable the terminals to remove the protective field and get to it. May pop up. They would strengthen his ether body, and he'd be able to break free.
One more minute. I'll finish copying the data. Thank you for your help. I need to go to the research center. Flavius is waiting for the data. That bad, huh? I don't know about you, but this warden's voice gave me the shivers. When I imagine Laertes suffering like this, what does it make us if we condemn him to eternal suffering? No, anyone but me. I'm not doing this. I'll go to Flavius right now and quit this project. Let him do as he likes with me. I keep thinking about... I can't even bring myself to say it. I'm thinking of making an error. You know what I mean? Intentionally. So Laertes can break free, you know? Of course. Flavius will not allow this. He'll double-check everything 1,000 times. But I can't stop thinking about it. I need to resign. I could really go for a ginger ale right now. I need to calm down. Thank you for the offer to sit down and relax. Just needed to cool my head. Yes, much better. But my decision remains unchanged. I'll go to Flavius and tell him I'm leaving this project. Of course, I can't do anything about Laertes' fate, but at least I won't dig his grave with my own hands. Oh, they can die, all right. You were just lucky to be born on Aelion at a good time. An immortal's life wasn't always this rosy. In the past, many immortals were absorbed by other, stronger immortals. They did it to become more powerful. Can you believe that? Don't worry. It happened a long time ago. Something happened then, and voila. It's like a nature reserve here on Aelion. But you can't kill the immortals by absorbing their ether body. There's still one way to die. Let's not forget that a god's immortality hinges on the faith of mortals. When Laertes spends hundreds of years in prison, he'll be forgotten, and his immortality will begin to wane until one day he loses it completely. And then Laertes will die. Soon or not, I don't want to have anything to do with it at all. Murder is what it is, and I don't want any part of it. Be careful when you say things like that. I'd say they would fail. To free Laertes, you need to know a lot about the prison. Something only Flavius knows. And me. Who's we? Keep your voice down.
Don't worry. I cast a little spell on everyone nearby. They won't hear a thing, and they won't remember us.
Thighs?
Tiberius, please hear me out. Join us in this quest and help us free Laertes from the prison.
Well, how can I refuse an elder goddess? Especially when this request aligns with my own desires. Deal. But let's be careful. If the plan fails, at least the two of you will be in prison right next to Laertes. Flavius will probably kill me on the spot. Ah, look who it is. I just got a message. He needs a full report on Tau. It should help Flavius pick a place for the future prison. He has looked at a couple so far, but one of them has too many wardens of death, and if what happened to Tau is anything to go by, they would just make the prisoner stronger. Could I ask you for a small favor while I'm writing my reports at the research center? My research group needed to finish all of their work in the Milene Caves, and then launch a brand new production line at the Palon plant. An important part of the prison complex, Laertes' cage, must be cast on time. We lost contact with them a while ago, but the signal is often spotty in the caves. I just want to make sure we don't miss the deadline.
yourselves. technologies for the defenders of Aelion. Go on, take them. It's part of my friendly assistance program.
The turrets are equipped with powerful lasers. I recommend using them against the mechanoids.
Find me, will you? We need to talk. It's about Laertes and the people who betrayed him.
Find an immortal.
Oh, there's one.
Hello. I met Thighs while I was waiting for you.
I wanted to tell you something. I'm sorry if I disrupted some of your plans.
No, there's nothing to disrupt. It's all good. We have no secrets, right?
I'm so glad to hear that. But let Marcus speak. He's bursting at the seams with impatience.
Thank you. I think I've learned something very important. Firstly, just yesterday, I was in the Temple of Love on Naori. Well, I went there to pray for the successful outcome of our common efforts, and not to look at the pretty lay sisters, if that's what you're asking. So, I was in the Temple of Love, and when I was about to leave, one of the people in Adept's clothing handed me a note.
A note? I see. Who was it?
I don't really remember. A man... But that's not important. The note asked for a meeting. A mortal claims to have important information about the conspiracy against Laertes. The question was phrased incorrectly. You will go. You see, it makes more sense for you to do it. You are more important. But I'll be with you, on the radio.
Where will this meeting take place?
In a very strange place. In the Kyros Caves. It's pretty far, and it'll take you a while to get there.
It's a very important meeting. Well, I won't keep you, but I'll say a few things before I leave. I believe that it's time for us to gather all of our allies and discuss our plan. I'll be waiting for you inside my temple, once you're done with that meeting of yours.
Of course. We'll be there.
Then I'll see you later.
Shall we go? I think our mysterious stranger will be waiting for us near the entrance. It would be foolish to just go in.
It's a prototype. We are going to see if there are any side effects.
dangerous here. Yes, our stranger could have picked a better meeting place. I hope he's still alive. He's alive. He has to be. Look, I think he tried to scare off the local fauna with potions. Maybe he's an alchemist? One of Thai's people. He lost his flashlight, and there's little light in the cave. It won't be easy for him, but he's still alive, which is great. It looks like a Vesper nest. The female won't let you pass through her territory like that. I'm afraid you won't be able to avoid a fight. That's weird. Who killed all these animals? I don't think it's our guy. I see tracks in the sand. Please be careful. There are a lot of them. Our mysterious alchemist is in big trouble. The Reapers grabbed him. They're performing one of their terrible rituals. Show Thanatos' minions they are not welcome here. Check if he's still breathing. Definitely dead. I'm looking, but I can't say if he was the one who gave me the note at the temple. What's that near the body? I don't understand what's on the tablet. Prophecies of some kind? I copied the data for you. You can find it in your bag. Now let's hurry to Thais.
the city.
I'm absolutely elated to see you all. Here, we can feel completely safe and at ease, my dear conspirators.
I'd prefer a different word. I feel like a villain.
Oh, stop. We're heroes, actually. When we present the healed Laertes to the Council, they'll reward us. You'll see.
Well said, Marcus. So can we start planning now, or should we discuss what we know so far? Our plan is to identify the vulnerabilities of the prison with Tiberius's help. Then, we attack them. Once Laertes is free, I will teleport him here to a safe, secret place where my best alchemists will search for a cure for his ailment.
The prison for immortals is almost ready, and Flavius has done an impressive job. Just yesterday, Ayana came to the construction site. She looked pleased. The prison consists of two perimeters, external and internal. The outer part of the prison is guarded by a special Templar unit. The interior has been cut deep into the rock mass, and special titans are guarding it. Flavius did not create the prison from scratch. He largely copied the projects of Aeli, the great lost god of Aelion, who has a very powerful intellect. Although Aeli built prisons for the Wardens of Elements, they are still the best fit. The nature of the Wardens is extremely similar to the nature of immortals, because that's who they were hundreds and hundreds of years ago. I'd say the project has no weak points. Aside from me, but let's not talk about that. Getting Laertes out will require tremendous effort. We'll have to bypass the security system and 2 security levels, and then destroy the confinement nodes. They are special devices that work in tandem with the gods guarding Laertes' cage. The good news is, the god guards themselves are in some kind of a trance, and will not engage in combat. In any case, we need to get everything done before they are ready for this battle. The confinement nodes can only be destroyed by external influence, so I suggest we blow them.
Blow up the prison? I like the idea, but where will we get the explosives?
This is the least of our problems. Believe me. I can easily synthesize the required amount of explosives and assemble the charges. You'll take them inside. And here we come to the main problem that I haven't been able to solve yet. Flavius suspects something. He restricted all access to the prison for only one person, himself. I can't get around this restriction. It's above my pay grade. A different kind of specialist is required for that. One of those people they call hackers in the Aelinet. But I don't know much about them. I didn't think Flavius would come up with this kind of restriction. He's careless most of the time.
I'll sum it up a little. The prison will be ready soon, and in order to get Laertes out of it, you need to get past the Templar guards, Titan guards, and then blow up the... what did Tiberius call them? Confinement nodes. But our plan is thwarted by the fact that Flavius barred everyone but himself from accessing the prison.
That's right. I think the construction will be completed in the coming days. I have one more task from Flavius.
So, you need a hacker to breach Flavius' security system. I think... You know what? Leave it to me. I have an idea.
What kind of idea?
It doesn't matter. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'll contact you soon.
Commendable initiative. Well, we will also be busy. It's the last task from Flavius. He's not sure about the number of confinement nodes in Laertes' cage. 2 or 12. How many do we need? There's an ancient prison for the Wardens of Elements on Cronnel. The altars serve as confinement nodes. Several altars have been destroyed, but the powerful Warden of Fire Ignis is still in prison. Hold on, this information is outdated. He just broke free, about 5 minutes ago, and I would be absolutely delighted to have all of my team's data before all of the Wardens turn our precious equipment into melted pieces of plastic and metal.
I will also be busy. I need to prepare my best alchemists for the task. Good luck, conspirators!
has freed himself from the bonds. My group wasn't prepared
Another
for
one
this.
of my ingenious
Don't worry,
creations.
everyone is safe.
A little
but
something to
their
help you
scientific
out.
equipment is still there on the platform. Pacify Ignis. I mean, kill him. I'll retrieve... Something is wrong! How did he get so strong? Retreat now! Oh no. The scanner shows that the Wardens of Fire are fueling Ignis, making him stronger. Just a minute. Let me think. The altar should help us. The altar will cover you with a water shield, which, as you know, is extremely effective against flames. Just remember, the Wardens don't like it when someone approaches their altars. The power that kept Ignis in chains is now yours, though the reading indicates that the defense is still too weak. Multifunctional devices. Flavius used them to build the core of the prison. Let me take readings. No, your defense is too weak. You need to get to the third altar. That the altars would be used that way. Or maybe this elemental protection is a side effect. Data from the equipment near the ruined altar. I detected a strong warden there. It may damage the devices and the data will be lost. Ready for the battle now. elemental defense should withstand Ignis's attacks. Deal with him.
Another province has been liberated. Residents of the Artemian mountains are simple people, but you will be surprised by the scale of their celebrations when you become a junior god.